Good morning, my friends. We were brainstorming because for Melanie Miller right now, it's past midnight in Australia. And Melanie, I think it would be a fabulous idea that you record it and we play it. Nobody would know. Nobody would know. Well, now you would know because you're listening. Nobody would know. Melanie, and you don't have to stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And you have to worry about am I going to have an internet? Is my internet going to cut? Yeah, nice. Brainstorming with the team here. So, welcome to the podcast, The Millionaire of the Diamonds, where success is not just about money. Well, it is somehow. Anyways, you'll understand today. It is about money, but it isn't about money. Okay, money is the measurement of the person I am becoming. So naturally, if I'm earning money and I'm compounding money, that means personally I'm growing. So it's a two-sided blade, two-bladed side or whatever it's called. Anyways, okay. So today we're diving into desire, the starting point of all achievements. You know, when you become a couch potato, I was talking with Sylvain this morning. I said, Sylvain, you got to do the exercise. You got to write down every 15 minutes what are you doing? And he hasn't done it. But I know why he hasn't done it, Marie-Pierre. Why?
You want to do the ostrich.
Yes. He wants to be an ostrich. He doesn't want to see that maybe we're spending 3 hours scrolling, but that's another story. I don't know if that's true, by the way. Okay. But truly, 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 desire, the starting point of all achievements. And you'll know if you have that burning desire when you are tracking every 15 minutes for 7 days exactly what you're doing. And the period that you're sleeping, obviously, I'm going to write down going to bed. And then I'm going to write down getting up. So it allows me also to see if I'm getting enough sleep. So sometimes I do sleep only 4 hours in the night, but I did have a 3 hour nap. Yeah, I do have 3 hour naps at times, right? Because I try to make sure I'm getting my 6 to 7 hours because that's my healthy sleep for me. Otherwise, I'm going to get a cold, like stupid things, simply because I'm not well rested. So tracking is everything. So today, Melanie Miller is going to take us into the book, the academic meaning of this principle from Think and Grow Rich. And Marie-Pierre, I'm excited for your exercise because now I do it by myself. Nobody sees me going, rah, 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 like I love talking to myself. So before we dive in, you're going to want to share it with everybody that's dreaming big, but they're not having the actions that matches the big dream, which is 99% of humanity. Okay, Marie-Pierre, over to you.
Okay, so let's start to share the podcast this morning. So you have the text in the comment that you can copy paste it so people understand why they should listen to the podcast this morning. So you can share on every social media platform. But you will see that when you click on the arrow just beside where you write your comment to share, you will see that you can share by messenger or text message. For those people that Maya just told you, you have someone in mind, send it directly by messenger, by text message. That's the best way to make sure that they will click on the link and listen to the podcast this morning. Then we have our contest, Les Millionnaires des Diamants. So first, when you go on our Facebook group, Les Millionnaires des Diamants Inspirational Group, every time that you post, every time that you comment or you react on a post in the group, you gain point during the month to be in the top 10 contributor of the group. And at the end of the month, the official top 10 will get a voucher to go shop on the boutique Les Millionnaires des Diamants. But month to date. So we have our top 10. So number 10, we have CKA Motivation. And number 9, we have Agnes Joseph Lockel. And
Hang
number
on, number, repeat.
which one?
The one motivation.
CKA Motivation.
Hmm.
It's a page. Yeah.
And they contribute to ours.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. If you guys are listening, I love it.
Yeah.
Jacqueline, we should contribute to theirs. Okay, go on.
It's a public group. That's why people can contribute. But if it's on our page, they cannot contribute. That's the difference. So number 9, we have Agnes Joseph Lockel. Number 8, Sherry Novak. Number 7, Nathalie Brochu. Number 6, Melanie Kokolos. Number 5, Sami. Number 4, Lise Boucher. Number 3, we have Kenra Fingasol. Number 2, Louise Gauthier. And number 1, Martinez. So congratulations to our top 10 month to date. So again, you have until the end of the month to be in the official top 10. And then we have a draw every month. So to be in the draw, there's two ways. First, when you go on our boutique, when you place order, when you receive your order, make sure that you always take a picture and you post on social media and you tag Maria Merano and Emiliana de Dema to be in the draw. And the second way is with the book Emiliana de Dema. So every time you receive one of the book, you take your picture. You're doing one of the book, you take a picture. You're doing one of the quiz book, again, you take your picture. You're doing one of the workbook, you take a picture. You're using an agenda Emiliana de Dema, again, you take a picture. That means that you can have a new picture every day that you post on social media and you tag Maria Merano and Emiliana de Dema to be in the draw at the end of the month. And if you are not already registered for the next conference, so we have 3 conferences that we just announced for 2026. So we have in April, we have one in July, and one in November. So you have the link in the description of the live, and we have it in the comment in a few seconds that will appear. So click on the link and get your ticket. And when you have your ticket, for those that want to be with us in the studio, when we are doing the conference, we have 24 places available in French and 24 in English. So just send me a message that you want to be with us in the studio, so I will add you to the list. We have already over 10 people in France that already registered to be with us um, in the
Really?
studio. Yeah. And it's a virtual conference. So even if you cannot be with us, it's okay. It's all around the world. And you
Yeah.
can also get it to watch it in replay. So, for example, the last conference that we did in January, someone has asked me, oh, I missed it. I didn't register. Can I have it? Absolutely. You can click on the link and get your ticket afterward, and you get the replay so you can watch it too. So it's all available on the same link.
I love it. Okay, guys, can I show you something? Can I show you? Say yes. I'm going to show it to you. Look at my babies
Oh,
with James. James,
oh,
that's what I did. Same bowl. Look at that. How beautiful. Oh, this warms my heart. Like it's like I realized that I can't have a rescue. I'm sad. You understand? I'm going in my bathroom because they were always with me in my bathroom and they're not there. So thank you, James. Kendra, I want your pictures. Anyways, all right, let's dive in. But before it just got me emotional, I want to say good morning to Lise, Jacqueline. Good morning. And wait, I got Sherry here this morning. And thank you, Sherry. I read your tracking. Thank you. And again, remember, when you're asking somebody to track and they don't want to track is they don't want to see reality. James with the crew. All right. Good morning, Monique. Good morning, Kendra. Send me pictures of Papa. Because I didn't want to give them names. So I call them baby boy, baby girl, and Papa. Louise is with us. Good morning, Louise. Good morning. Good morning. Great to see you guys. Invite, tag people that normally are here. Linda, somebody new, this is somebody new, I think, that has been joining us. I'm really, really happy. So, Martin Noel, Matthew is here. Everybody's here. Okay, the family's in the house. So let me dive in. When we read this chapter, one sentence jumps out at me louder than all others. And if you're leaning in and you're writing something, I want you to write down Barnes burned all bridges behind him. Burned all bridges. Burned all bridges. Not metaphorically, not emotionally, not motivationally, but he burned them in real life. And I'm reading this and I'm saying, oh my God, that's like my first Henry Ford, my mom, Adelina. My parents, they didn't come to Canada with a plan B. They didn't say, here are my savings. If ever doesn't work, we're going to go back to Italy. They didn't say, if we're not going to make it. No, 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 no. They burned all the bridges. Once they landed here in Montreal, Canada, that was it. That was it. Then it was 1970. She discovered Tupperware. She didn't say, I'll try this. She didn't say, let's see how it goes. She said, this is my new life. Okay. You have to see a picture of my mother 6 months later when she won the Mustang. I mean, her face said it all. Okay. And the thing that I love that we talked about it at the conference and then I reread it in this podcast is if you cannot articulate what you want, you cannot have it. Oh my gosh, here it comes again. Okay. So I said to my son, he has a meeting today. I said to my son, remember, if you aren't an incredible salesperson, you can never be the best CEO of the world. Okay. That means, son, you're going to need to articulate what you do, what your offer in the least words possible. And right away, the recipient goes, I want in, type of thing. Okay. So you need to be able to articulate what your mission is, what your vision is, and what you can do for your customer, your family, or whatever. Okay. So my mom became obsessed with the idea of becoming a millionaire. Not maybe, not hopefully, not someday I will, but in 1976, she was. In 1981, when my dad joined the Tupperware business with my mom, he already had a mechanics auto body shop in Montreal North, extremely successful because he was making also a shitload of money. And he didn't say, let me join you, but I'm keeping my business on the side open because if ever Tupperware doesn't work, I'm going to go back to my auto mechanic shop. No, he sold it. He burned the bridges. And we see this with Edison. They burned bridges. They were all in. And one last example I want to give you was in 1989. My husband is doing his doctorate's degree. They offer him the opportunity to be a business leader with me. He didn't say, in case it fails, I'll go back to engineering or teaching or whatever, because he would have had all those options. He burned his bridges. He never looked back, even in the toughest times. I mean, there was a period in our career early on where we wrote a check and it bounced back. What an embarrassment. Anyways, okay. So people fail because they're always putting the safety net. And that safety net brings us to a point of return and not to a point of non-return. The safety nets is why people don't get what they want. Okay. So when desire is backed by obsession, strategic planning, persistence, recognizing failure and learning from it, because we're tracking everything, right, Sherry? Keep on tracking. Okay. Everything changes. So my question to you, before I leave you in the hands of Melanie Miller, what bridge are you still standing on? What retreat are you still protecting? What escape are you keeping alive? Am I talking to somebody this morning? Am I talking to somebody? Okay. Because this is so important. So, so important. So you need to walk away today saying, wait a second. I really want this dream life. But I gotta do what I gotta do, like in the book, Think and Grow Rich. This segment today is the most revealing segment. We're starting really now, today, the podcast of going in deep with the book, Think and Grow Rich. I want you to write down, which bridges do I need to burn? Okay, so with no further ado, to go in a little bit more and being able to take notes, I leave you in my hands, in the hands, not in my hands, in the hands of Melanie Miller from Australia. Wah, wah.
Thank you very much, Maria. And yes, this is quite an interesting section to start on. So, chapter 2 of this book is entitled Desire. And it should be noticed that we're not talking here about a wish or a whim. This is the sort of desire that might be defined as a burning desire. It has such a hold on you that you will do anything you need to do to achieve it. A definition of desire could be: desire is a strong, persistent, mental, emotional, or physical craving to attain, possess, or experience something believed to bring satisfaction, pleasure, or happiness. It acts as a powerful motivator, driving action and setting human beings in motion toward goals. Synonyms include longing, urge, craving, yearning, appetite, and passion. Some key aspects of desire can be described as mental and emotional state. It is a complex, often long lasting state of mind characterized by tension or stretching to reach a goal. And motivation, desires act as catalysts for action, often combined with beliefs about how to achieve the desired outcome. Such a passion would mean that you would burn bridges. You will continue to move forward to get what you wanted, and you would not be concerned with having a safe escape route should you not achieve it. And in brackets, do not achieve it is inconceivable, hence the term burning bridges. When I first joined Tupperware, I would listen to Maria tell us, while you have a plan B, you will never commit to a plan A. You will not have a burning desire to make plan A work. And I've witnessed many directors and others at Tupperware who, when the going has got tough, rather than go all in an environment that requires much effort, they've gone back to what they knew before and not made Tupperware work. I understand why people choose this option because sometimes safety seems more reasonable than uncertainty. However, they all left their previous environment because they were not particularly happy where they were or more opportunity in Tupperware. Their failure was that they had left an escape route. They had not burned their bridges and consequently did not have the burning desire to make Tupperware work. The opening of this chapter reminds us of the story of Barnes, who was determined with a burning desire to work in partnership with Edison. There was no second option, and he was willing to wait and work in Edison's environment to get the opportunity when it presented itself. He did not hang around and then say, "Oh, it looks like this is never going to happen. I'm never going to have a chance to work with him. I'd better go and look for something else." He waited and waited and worked until the opportunity presented, and he took it straight away. Last year, in our Tupperware world, had a lot of uncertainty, and many people decided that they couldn't wait to see what happened and keep working in an uncertain environment. I know that my attitude was that until anyone told me otherwise, Tupperware was going to keep going, and I was going to lead my people to think the same. Unfortunately, a few people jumped ship into another MLM, which within a few weeks of them joining, closed their doors. If only they had kept the faith for Tupperware, they would not have had to suffer a closure at all. History has shown repeatedly that those who have burning desires and who burn their bridges are much more likely to succeed. Hill recounts a story of a great warrior who knew that he had to do something to ensure the success of his army. So he loaded them into boats and sailed to the country of his enemies. As the men left the boats with all their supplies and equipment, he ordered them to burn the boats. He then addressed them and told them they had to win as there was now no means to escape. They then had a burning desire to win. Marshall Field was a pioneering American entrepreneur and founder of the Chicago-based Marshall Field and Company department store. He, unlike many others after the Great Fire of Chicago in 1871, decided to stay and rebuild his retail business. Most other merchants left, not having a burning desire to rebuild in Chicago. Marshall Field went on to have a great success, and little is known of the merchants that left. A burning desire to achieve something will give you tremendous motivation to do what you have to do to achieve it. Hill wants us to understand that it is only those with such desire, what they want, who succeed in their lives. They will stop at nothing and they will never have a plan B. Now, after I've explained that a little, I'm going to pass you over to I'm sure to have a quiz for you tonight or today. Over to you, Marie
That's
Pierre.
so funny. Tonight for Melanie. Yes, it's tonight for us this morning. I love it. Thank you, Melanie. So, yes, the quiz will help us to see where we still have those bridges because burning the bridges, like this story that is in war, that it's only way out alive of the war, it's to win because you burn the bridges. But of course, in our modern life, the war is not against the enemy every day, but it's against doubt, it's against fear, it's against old habit, comfort, procrastination, the version of ourselves that wants to quit. And the winning doesn't mean beating someone else, but winning mean building what you said that you will build, becoming who you said you would become, finishing what you started, staying and when it would be so much easier to leave. So the quiz will help you to see where you are truly committed, where you still keep emotional escape proof, where your desire is strong, and where your bridges are still standing. So this morning you can answer A, B, C, or D for each question. So let's start with question number one. So when you say that you want something important, what do you think only in your head? What do you also think? So A, what I will do if it fails. B, who I can fall back on. C, how long I will try. Or D, what I must become to succeed. Question number two. When things get difficult, what is your first instinct? A, to look for an exit. B, to slow down. C, to reconsider. Or D, to double down. Question number three. When you talk about your goal, what do you usually say? A, you add condition to your goal. B, you add disclaimers. C, you add humor. Or D, you state it clearly. Question number four. When results take longer than expected, what do you do? So A, you think of alternative. B, you reduce your effort. C, you reduce the goal. Or D, you increase your commitment. And question number five. When you imagine failure, so do you A, prepare emotionally for failure? B, avoid thinking about it? C, feel anxious? Or D, feel determined? So did you get mostly A's, mostly B's, or mostly C's, or mostly D's? So if you have it mostly A, you still have many bridges behind you. So you often protect yourself by keeping escape route open. So you may call this being realistic, but it's often fear in disguise. So you avoid that full commitment because you don't want to risk disappointment. So here your growth focus would be your work is not effort, but it's the decision. So you want to choose one area of your life where quitting is no longer an option. Choose one thing at a time. Now, if you have mostly B, so you are in the section you want to commit, but fear leads. So you feel the pull of commitment, but emotions still drive your reaction. So you start with good intention, but pull back when pressure appears. So your growth focus here would be that your desire, yes, exists, but it needs structure. So replace emotional reaction with that clear decision. Now, if you have it mostly C, you are standing on the bridge. So you are serious, but not final. You still look back sometime. You have one foot forward, one foot behind. So you want to strengthen your commitment by removing those small escape routes. So that one symbolic burn will change your behavior. And if you have mostly D, your bridge are burned. So you understand what, and we learned in that book that the desire back with by decision will create the power. So you stay when it's hard and you adjust instead of leaving. So you want again to protect this mindset and to not let the comfort rebuild bridges that you already burned. So 3 points to help you burn the bridges in real life. Number one, stop negotiating with yourself daily. Decisions lose power when you revisit them emotionally. So you decide, go ahead. Stop negotiating with yourself every day. Number two, remove safety language. So replace that if it works with until it works. So make sure that your language talk with that decision. And number three, reduce emotional exit. So stop venting about quitting and talk about solution instead. Because if you just keep talking about quitting, even if it's just, oh, but I just want to vent, you're still talking about it. So talk about solution instead so you reduce that emotional exit. So again, we want to remember that burning the bridges is not reckless, but it's respectful to your future. Because every time that you keep that escape route, you teach yourself that quitting is that option. So every time that you remove it, you teach yourself that winning is the only way forward. So the war is not like in the story, but it's inside of you. So winning will help you becoming who you decided to be, that version of you that you want to become. So on that, I wish you a beautiful day, and we'll continue on that subject tomorrow morning.